Hello, it's Andy from the Wales branch of IIRSM. A very short video, just part of some of the focus videos I'm doing. I'm going to talk about ISO 18788. So I'm currently out in Baghdad, Iraq, and I'm undertaking a certification audit. 18788, it's all about security. So we're looking at security management systems. But what I'm going to do quickly, I'm going to just do a quick search. I'm doing a search for safety. So how many times is safety mentioned within this document? So we can see 42 times. So whilst this is a security standard, and it's got its own clause, 8.7 for occupational health and safety, we can see that safety appears 42 times. So the standard itself is very heavily based on safety. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. I'll just mention really, because it's only a short video. But then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go right to the bottom of the document, and I'm going to actually link this brief video to ISO 31000, the risk management standard, and let's have a quick look. So we're now going to have a brief look. Let me make that smaller. So ISO 31000. So the risk assessment process within this standard utilises ISO 31000, as does ISO 28000, which again is a security management system standard, as does 9001. They do mention the risk management process and framework as per ISO 31000. So very briefly, we're just going to have a quick look here at how it's laid out in this document. If you're a fan of 31000, you will recognise that establishing the context, well, it's actually context, scope and sort of criteria. And you will also, in 31000, and you'll also recognise that there is no recording and reporting mentioned down here. So we've got communication and consultation under the 6-step process of ISO 31000. It also has recording and reporting. So we're sort of looking, this is the older framework from the previous model. But let's have a quick look at it. Establish the context. That's what we've got to do. Then we move into our risk assessment, identification, analysis and evaluation. What we're doing when we get that evaluation part, we're evaluating that against the context. This is a security context. So let's look across to the left-hand side. External, internal, and the risk management context. That's why I always say there's 3 contexts. Really important to add that. Third, risk management context. Obviously out here in Baghdad, it's a security context. We're looking at identification. What can happen, when, why, how. Threat, opportunity, vulnerability, capability, criticality. There's some phenomenal words in here. And if you're like me, I wouldn't call me a wordsmith, but if you're like me, you've really got to focus on those words to understand them. When you do understand them, that's really important. Human rights risk analysis. Where do you hear that in the world of safety? It's really important. We know human rights are, but this is the world of security. This is why I love security. We are really focusing on the human rights of others. That's, I think, what makes it so good, such a good standard. Risk analysis, we're moving on to identify, determine the level of risk. Really important. Compare the criteria. What is the criteria, the risk criteria? So much in there to unpack. Avoid, share, exploit, prepare, and implement treatment options. What a fantastic standard. So that's it. It is only a little brief whistle-stop tour for the IIRSM Wales branch. Thank you very much for watching.